What would you do if you found yourself in a Rasslin match against one of the longest holding Universal title holders of all time? Today, we take a look at the mistakes made in this match with How to Beat Rasslin, King Woods versus Roman Reigns. We start this video with King Woods and Roman Reigns on the outside. Woods is clocking Reigns with some punches before throwing him back into the ring at the count of 4. Woods tries to outmaneuver Reigns, only to meet Reigns' right fist. Woods rolls out of the ring, only to be slammed onto the announce table by the head of the table. Okay, so far, the only one really making mistakes here is the referee. It looks like not much has changed in the WWE. Like in AEW, the refs here kind of seem like they don't know what they're doing. Charles Robinson has been a ref since 1995, giving him well over 25 years of experience. Many refs sure do take their time on the 10 count though, as Robinson does here. If you go with the timing of his 3 to 4 count, Robinson should already be at least to a 7 count. However, refs are always like yelling at the wrestlers to get back in the ring. Why do they do this? Why do they care? How many wrestlers actually acknowledge the ref and go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be out here. Okay, Robbie, I'll get back in now." If you are planning a career as a referee in sports entertainment or pro wrestling, I please ask and beg of you to be a referee that actually executes the rules and policies that govern these matches. It's so rare nowadays that it might actually be interesting to see. Why would the wrestlers ever take the refs seriously if they aren't doing their jobs proficiently? Just asking. I'm not exactly sure why Woods took the time to point at Paul Heyman here. What exactly did that accomplish? Heyman knows that as long as the tribal chief has his back, he has nothing to fear. And Woods just wasted his time and allowed Roman Reigns to recover a little bit. One thing smaller sports entertainers seem to do is expend a lot of energy, as Woods does here with his baseball slide under Roman Reigns. It was a good dodge maneuver, don't get me wrong, but it's best to conserve as much energy as possible during your match. This dodge also favors Reigns. Reigns just needs to turn around to face Woods, whereas Woods needs to come to a stop, get himself back up to his feet, and then turn around. Woods also thought it was a good idea to go for a discus attack here, giving Reigns even more time to connect with that big right hand. Woods rolling out of the ring is a good move if you need to catch a breather, but remember, your opponent also gets to catch a breather. Some people hate wrestlers that do this because it makes them look weak and cowardly, so keep that in mind if you plan on merch sales. Reigns follows Woods out of the ring as the ref, again, is super confused as to why Reigns is doing this. Why is he super confused? Just start your 10 count. Perhaps if refs did their jobs, sports entertainers wouldn't be doing things that confuse the refs. Woods also shouldn't have gone to the announce table. One unwritten rule about wrestling: if you're by an announce table, there's a 50% chance you're going through it. He would have been much better off going to one of the barricades. The WWE's barricades are nice and padded, which I'm sure hurt much less than the unpadded announce table with various hard objects on it. We come back from commercial break with King Woods still trying to strike down Roman Reigns. He hits a spinning DDT on Roman and follows it up with more striking. Woods impressively escapes from a possible back suplex and is successful in attempting his baseball slide, spinning forearm. He connects with a heel kick, only to get a 2 count. Okay, if only Woods had watched the Dax Harwood vs. Pac How to Beat Rasslin video. He may have realized he should have tried a different approach, especially with a very tough guy like Reigns. Woods' running strike onto Reigns' ear didn't stop him from laying out Woods, although Reigns did need to take a breather as well. King Woods did hit this spinning DDT, but failed to do a pin attempt. Sometimes, I wonder if wrestlers understand how a pin doesn't have to be used solely for winning. A wrestling match is about wearing down your opponent. It's not too often matches are won in the first minute. Laying across the top of your opponent and forcing him to push your body weight off of him is a good way to get your opponent to expend energy, even if it is a lackadaisical pin. Woods then attempts his baseball slide spinning forearm again, but this time, very surprisingly, it connects. Reigns clearly had this move tracked the first time, but not this time? If you've watched enough sports entertainment, you know many of these sports entertainers have certain moves that they like to do. It would have been safe for Roman to think Woods was going to go for the same maneuver again, but Reigns must have had a brain fart. King Wood keeps up with his rally on Reigns, only to get another 2 count. Woods decides the high risk is worth the risk, only to be stopped by Reigns. Woods fights off Reigns, only to dive right into another Uranagi for a 2 count. Reigns then goes for a Superman punch, only to be caught by Woods' boot. King Woods then dodges a spear into the turnbuckle and follows up with a successful high-risk elbow drop off the top rope. Okay. In the last part of this match, Woods makes a few mistakes that caused his loss. The first mistake was doing whatever this move is. Why are you going to go the opposite direction of the way you're slamming your opponent? What real possible force are you going to lay into your opponent if you are going one way and he's going the other? The only way I see this move being super effective is if Woods was cinched in around Reigns' head and neck. Of course, Reigns kicks out of this and Woods makes his next mistake. He decided that after that disgusting maneuver that he was going to go high risk. Just as Woods barely gets to the top rope, Reigns is already there to stop him. At least Woods didn't have to show us whether he had a reaction delay like Pac does in the same situation. Woods then actually thinks these bent over strikes would be enough to stun Reigns for a high-risk maneuver, which of course isn't the case. Reigns then goes for his Samoan war cry tackle. I have one question here. Why is it that people are clearly on Woods' side here, but then they do the with Roman? Doesn't the audience know this is like giving moral support to the bad guy here? Anywho, King Woods' mistake with the high risk here is he seems to think about it too much. You're Rasslin the champion. Seconds count. If that had been me hitting that coast-to-coast elbow drop, first, I need to stop doing the coast-to-coast on the buffet line. I would have pulled Roman Reigns away from the ropes a bit. He's a big guy with big reach, and you don't want to take the chance of a broken pinfall. As the ref is about to count to 3, the Usos pop up from under the ring and foist Woods' possible pin attempt on the Universal Champion. King Woods is victorious, but only through disqualification, which as we all know is not as legit as a pinfall victory. Again, if only Woods had watched the Dax Harwood vs. Pac video, he wouldn't have had to take as much of an unnecessary beating. Where are Woods' friends? WWE has like 69,000 sports entertainers, even after all of their recent releases. Woods couldn't make a couple allies? Because of Woods' incompetence, he's met brutally with the steel steps, twice, allowing Roman Reigns to bend the knee to take the crown. All hail the newly crowned King Tribal Chief. And there you have it, my first WWE How to Beat Rasslin video. But if you enjoyed and learned from it, perhaps you could check out the AEW videos I've done. A link to the playlist is in the description. Please let me know what you like and dislike about these videos. Let me know in the comments below what else you would have done differently to ensure your victory. And remember, until next time, lace your boots up one at a time and think about your next maneuver. Tribal Chief! Tribal Chief! Tribal Chief!